Welcome to the 5th episode of our Stories of Hope series. In this episode, you are going to meet Georgie and her mother Sue. Georgie has an intellectual impairment and autism. This means that she has issues with her social communication and has difficulty understanding her world. Here is her story.
Everything was very tricky for me.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. So I know that your ears were very sensitive and your skin was very sensitive. Was that tricky for you?
That was tricky for me.
Yeah. And was school tricky for you?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Why was it tricky?
Yes, it was. It was tricky because it wasn't the right school for me.
Like younger kids who are finding school tricky, what would you like to say to them?
Go and tell the teacher or mum and dad.
Aha, that's really good advice.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the important things is to listen to the behaviour that you're seeing and hearing. Not sleeping, waking up during the night, distressed,
Nervous.
Yes.
Avoidance, just generally unhappy and
angry.
Yeah. To do that.
Yeah. And I bet that after, when she was in the right school, I bet all of those behavioural symptoms just gradually disappeared.
A lot of those problems went away, didn't they? Because you felt much happier.
How long did it take for those symptoms to go away?
Oh, probably a good 6 months.
Yeah.
To then the next year it was better after the holidays.
Now, I know that a couple of years ago when you were younger, you had really super sensitive ears. Do you remember that?
I do.
What was that like for you?
Bit tricky.
Would have been tricky, yeah. And how are your ears now?
Good, they're working again.
They're working again. Because I know when they weren't working, that you really couldn't like the sound of children. You really didn't like the sound of anyone coughing. I know you don't like it now, but you got really, really upset. And anywhere noisy made you really upset. And you used to wear special ear defenders all the time.
I don't like tantrums behaviour in that place.
No, it sounds like that you saw a tantrum in some behaviour.
In the museum.
Okay, and that worried you?
That worried me.
Yeah, because you know when you come to OT, you and me work on different situations to help you understand it better.
I do.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the puppets out now. And somebody's going to have a tantrum in the museum. So you went out into the community to a museum and Kat, this is not fair, I don't like it! I don't like it, I want to go! You stop it! What are you going to say to him? What are you going to do?
Behave yourself, Kat.
Oh, behave myself? But I want to go home and they won't let me.
Well, you need to rest and behave yourself.
Oh, rest and behave myself? Oh, okay. Here, I'll rest in here. That worked.
It did.
So me and you, Georgie and Mum, we always play out these kind of situations, don't we?
We do. Helps me calm down a bit.
Helps you calm down a bit.
Take some deep breaths.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
What would you say to somebody else who felt angry?
I'm feeling uncomfortable. I have to go outside. I don't like it. I have to go outside and then I can handle it.
Perfect. Well, Georgie could draw from a very young age quite well. Actually, I think she could draw probably before she could talk. So she used to use her drawings a lot to express herself. So we'd get an idea of really how she was feeling. If she was really, really stressed, then, you know, she went through a stage where she would draw things like spiders, things that weren't really pleasant. Well, reading and writing, she really just sort of just developed that on her own, really.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I think reading, you know, we just did basic words and pictures, so that's just sort of gradually developed as well. Yeah, I think the drawing and telling stories and drawing emotions and things like that, it was good for learning the vocabulary
Yes.
that went with feelings so that she could express herself. Some of the highlights was, I guess, some of the holidays that Georgie was able to come on with the family and enjoy. She's done some pretty cool and amazing things.
Yes.
With her art, she's been able to make her own cards, so she's got her own little card business, and she's had some of her work bought by one of the hospitals, and she has some of her illustrations up on the wall there. Really tricky things. I think really tricky things growing up was, well, a couple of things. Georgie's got a sister, so trying to do, family things that everybody enjoyed was always very tricky to find something that wasn't challenging, but that everybody could enjoy.
Yes.
And spending time with your other sibling, because they don't always get as much attention, is a tricky thing.
Yes.
So I have to make time for that. Getting time for yourself is also tricky, but it's very important.
Yes.
And yeah, I think sort of socialising with other families was tricky and hard because of behaviours and things like that. Yeah.
In terms of like, what would you recommend? What advice would you give to other parents on a similar journey?
Just try and get connected with some really good health professionals that you can use as your reference group, and develop a support network as well. Have a wide variety of friends with children with the same issues, but also other friends that maybe don't have children or don't have any issues in their family. Don't kind of expect improvements overnight, because sometimes they take a long time, so you have to have a lot of patience. Celebrate all the good things that happen, because sometimes you can focus too much on the things that aren't happening. So I think that's really important, and yeah, it's more of a marathon than a sprint. So just be kind to everybody and be patient, and things will fall into place. HELP is like a social enterprise where they have where participants can go, the NDIS participants, and they do lots of activities such as computer, some life skill work, some hospitality work. Georgie really likes gardening, so she has her own garden.
Wow, Georgie.
She grows some vegetables. Just recently, Georgie went to the gym with another group of participants at her day program, and she participated in a basketball game.
Wow.
With her friends and her support workers. What interventions have we found really good? Well, we've certainly found OT very, very helpful. We've also found speech pathology helpful at some stages, and we've also found psychology very helpful as well.
We hope this video has inspired you and given you hope. If you're wanting more information about occupational therapy and how we can help your child, please ring or visit our website. Thanks for watching.